Hey guys, I've just come back from the supermarket and I spotted these 1 litre bottles of natural apple juice, so there's no added preservatives or added sugar. And I thought to myself, we've got a little bit of leftover yeast at home, so why don't I make a quick and easy cider and just show you how simple it can be to make one. So what I've done is I've taken about 50 mils of the juice out there, just give me a little bit of headspace. And then I've added the yeast here, so SO4, but you could use something like a Safcider yeast if you've got that, or a champagne yeast. And I've added at the rate of 1 gram of yeast per litre, so put this on the scales to make sure I was getting a gram in there. So I've added 1 gram of yeast, and also in the cupboard I remembered that I had this natural coconut essence, so basically I'm going to try and make a apple and coconut cider. So I've added 10 mils of that, so 10 mils to pretty much a litre. As far as the fermentation, I've given the bottle a good shake, and what I've done is I've put the cap on, not completely tight, but just backed it off slightly. Now that'll act like an airlock, so any CO2 that builds up in here will be able to escape out the cap. And then what I'm looking to do is probably after, I'll check it about day 5, between day 5 and day 7. And if fermentation has started to slow down, I'm going to tighten that cap right up so I can capture all that CO2 in there. And then hopefully we can come back in a couple of weeks and see how it tastes. So thanks for watching. If you got any questions, just sing out. Otherwise, we'll see you for the tasting. Okay, so we're back. It's day 11 since the earlier part of the video. And here's the cider here. So I think in the first part of the video I said that I was going to leave the cap on loosely during fermentation and then tighten it up between sort of day 5 and day 7. It was more like day 7 when fermentation sort of slowed down a bit, so what I was doing is tightening up the cap and then just releasing the pressure. And then on day 10 yesterday I put this into the fridge just so that it could have 24 hours to just to cold crash and clear up. So you might be able to see there's all the yeast at the bottom there, so it's separated nicely. And the bottle's fairly tight. It was a little bit tighter when I put it into the fridge, but it's still fairly tight. So yeah, let's pour it up and see how it tastes. Go. I'll just put the cap on the rest of it there. So that's a much better, oh there you can go. It's actually cleared up really nicely. A few bubbles there. I'll just see if we can knock them off the side of the glass. But yeah, that's cleared up pretty well actually. Obviously the longer you leave it in the fridge will clear up even more. So yeah, SO4 yeast, and the only other thing I added to the apple juice, which I think I said in the first part of the video, was 10 mils of natural coconut essence. Oh, it smells good. It smells like cider. And I can smell the coconut on the top as well, so that's good. That was a bit of a guesswork, the 10 mils to a litre. So we'll go in for a sip. Cheers guys. Oh, that's actually better than I expected, put it that way. I mean, considering all I've done is put yeast in here and a little bit of coconut essence. So it's really nice. The coconut's coming through really, really well. Well, that could be right up there with the best ciders I've made. I've tried a few over the last few years, but it's really nice. Nice apple flavour. Coconut's coming through about the same level. reminds me, it tastes a little bit like apple pie almost. For some reason, they coconuts combined to give a real nice sort of apple pie sort of flavour. I'm not sure why. SO4 yeast, no sulphur coming through at all, either on the nose or in the flavour. So I'm really happy with that. The other thing is, put it into the fridge day 10, and it's still got a little bit of residual sweetness. Apparently SO4 yeast does finish slightly higher, so you won't get the gravity coming right down and you won't end up that really dry cider. So if you're looking for a little bit of sweetness left behind, SO4 seems to be a really good yeast. Never used it before for a cider, so very happy with that indeed. So cheers guys, thanks for watching. We're going to sit down and enjoy the rest of this, and we'll catch you next time. Over and out.